JBN, we keep you informed. Daniel Williams destroys field to win 100-meter hurdles final. Jamaican Daniel Williams showed a recent 100-meter hurdles win over world record holder Kendra Harris in Birmingham was no fluke, as she won her first IAAF Diamond League title on Friday at the second of two Diamond League finals in Brussels. The 2015 world champion had a terrific start and already had a clear lead by the halfway point. She continued to pull away from Harrison over the final few barriers and crossed the line in 12.46, matching her winning time from Birmingham. Harrison was second in 12.73, finishing 0.01 ahead of two-time world indoor champion Nia Ali. To win against this standard of field is just fantastic, said Williams. I'm also satisfied with the time because it was really cold. Indoor, my ambition will be the same. First, make it to the final and then get a medal. For her victory, Williams earned a diamond trophy and its accompanying US $50,000 winner's top prize. Earlier, two-time Olympic gold medalist Shelly Fraser-Pryce had to settle for second place in the women's 100 meters. After three successive 100-meter losses to Fraser-Pryce in the IAAF Diamond League, Dina Asher-Smith finally got the better of her arch-rival when it mattered most. The Briton blasted out of the blocks and immediately put pressure on Fraser-Pryce, who is used to leading from the outset. Clearly rattled, the Jamaican didn't look as smooth as she usually does and struggled to get on level terms with Asher-Smith. But there was no letting up from the leader, who dashed across the finish line in 10.88, the only athlete in the field to clock a season's best. Fraser-Pryce clocked 10.95 for a second-place finish, while Marie-Josie Tallou finished third in 11.09. Man dead, another in custody following shootout with police in Clarendon. A man is dead and another in custody, following a shootout with the police in Palmer's Cross, Clarendon on Thursday morning, September 5. The incident occurred on Webb Lane. A firearm was recovered. It is reported that the Mapen police were tracking a car, which was reported stolen. The police say the four occupants of the vehicle opened gunfire at them. The gunfire was returned. A man was killed, another taken into custody, while the others escaped. More bloodletting as tension reigns in the Red Hills Road area. The guns have been barking constantly in the 100 and Park Lanes area off Red Hills Road in St. Andrew, leaving law-abiding citizens scared for their lives and forcing the St. Andrew North Police to impose a curfew there. At least two persons have been murdered in the Red Hills Road area in the last 3 days. The latest victim has been identified as 30-year-old Sean Moore, a pan-chicken vendor who lives in 100 Lane. Moore was shot as he left the lane on Wednesday evening. Police report that a gunman approached him and shot him several times, killing him instantly. His death came just hours after popular bar operator Natalie Caseman was killed inside the bar she operated close to the Whitehall Avenue Red Hills Road intersection. Caseman, who had ties to the feuding areas, was in the company of two other persons when a gunman approached and shot her dead. The other two persons were not harmed. There have been conflicting reports as to the genesis of the latest round of bloodletting. According to residents, there was a prolonged round of gunfire close to the border of both communities on Sunday evening. The police have since imposed a curfew that will encompass both communities in an effort to stem the tide of violence and to seize some of the illegal weapons that are being used to wage war in the communities. The curfew was expected to last until 6 a.m. this morning, Saturday, September 7. Park Lane and 100 Lane have traditionally been fiercely competitive. Court told bomb threat accused is dead. The case against Cordell Clark, the Trelawney businessman accused of sending bomb threats to two of the parish's courthouses last year, came to an unexpected end on Thursday after the court was told that Clark died recently. Clark, 53, of a top-town address in Trelawney, who was charged for creating public mischief, was slated to appear in court on Thursday for the prosecution to complete its case file. However, when the matter was called up before presiding parish judge Stanley Clark, the court was told that the defendant Clark was shot and killed sometime after his last court appearance. What was it that killed him? Asked Judge Clark after he was informed of Clark's death. It was a gunshot, the clerk of the court told the judge, without providing additional details. The judge was told that a post-mortem report to confirm the accused man's death was not yet complete. Following further discussions with defense attorney Kadeen Coleman, Judge Clark set the case a mention on October 31 when the post-mortem is expected to be submitted. At that time, the matter will be removed from the court's case list. The allegations are that Clark called the Duncans police station on August 21, 2018 and the Falmouth police station on December 4, 2018, and on each occasion claimed that a bomb had been placed at the courthouses in the two townships. However, searches of the two locations turned up no bombs. Westmoreland Police seeking wanted man. The Westmoreland Police have listed one man as wanted. He is 26-year-old Ainsley Woodburn, otherwise called Shortman, of Belfont District, Catadupa, St. James. The police say he's wanted for shooting with intent in relation to an incident on September 2. Woodburn has been asked by the police to turn himself into the Savlamar Police by midday on Monday, September 9. Additionally, anyone who may be able to help the police to locate him is being asked to contact investigators at 876-955-2536, Crime Stop at 311, Police 119 emergency number or the nearest police station. The police are reminding persons that it is an offense to harbor criminals and provide a haven for them, arguing that it also places the lives of family and friends at increased risk of an attack. $600 million allocated for PATH students' exam fees. More than $600 million has been allocated by the Education, Youth and Information Ministry to pay examination fees to high school students who are on the Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH next year. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dr. Grace McLean, said that more than $400 million has been provided by the Ministry to pay for the Caribbean Secondary Examination Certificate, CSEC examination, and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE. A further $200 million, she said, has been made available to pay for City and Guilds, National Vocational Qualification of Jamaica NVQJ, and the Caribbean Vocational Qualification CVQ examinations. We're just about sending information out to the schools for them to start the registration for CSEC, the Permanent Secretary said. Dr. McLean was providing an update following a press briefing on government funding for additional Bachelor of Medicine MBBS students held at the University of the West Indies, Mona, St. Andrew on Thursday. For the CSEC registration, it starts with the ministry sending to the schools the number of subjects that we're going to be paying for and the criteria to be observed, she said. When they do their registration, which is due sometime in October, that is submitted. We then do the review and send off the information to the Overseas Examinations Commission for a full registration and payment, Dr. McLean noted. The government in 2017 announced that it would pay examination fees for up to 8 CSEC subjects for PATH students who qualify to sit the subjects. Subsidies are also provided for PATH students sitting 3 CAPE subjects, as well as the CVQ and NVQJ test and Math and English language in the City and Guilds examination. Students are required to have an average of 55% in each subject to qualify for the subsidies. Government to increase funding to medical students. The government of Jamaica is committed to funding an additional 47 medical students at the University of the West Indies UA to the tune of US 1.316 million or 177.66 million Jamaican dollars over 5 years starting this academic year. Each of the 47 students will receive US $28,000 per year. This will be in addition to the 40 medical students that the government sponsors each year. Minister with responsibility for education and youth, Karl Samuda, made the disclosure at a press conference at the council room at the University of the West Indies on Thursday afternoon, which was attended by staff as well as beneficiaries of the funding. According to Samuda, priorities will be given to students who are former PATH beneficiaries, as well as those from inner city and poor rural communities. During the studies, they'll have to maintain a GPA of 2.8 to continue receiving funding. On completion of their studies, the students will be bonded for 5 years. According to Samuda, the decision was made after a recent meeting with the university's administration, when he found out the plight of some of the students doing medical studies at the institution. Medicine is calling. For them, medicine is not an option. They don't going to try to become a doctor, and in the event they go on to something else like liberal arts or engineering. Their sense of determination, commitment to conclude their service in medicine and to excel is something that is legendary for students, Samuda said. Samuda said that students in other year groups at the university pursuing medicine, who was not a part of the 40 in the initial respective year of their studies, will be accommodated once a need can be established. Meanwhile, Dean of the Faculty of Medical Sciences, Dr. Tomlin Paul, explained that the university accepts a maximum of 280 students each year, with Jamaicans accounting for the most space of 160. He said the Jamaican government sponsors 40, but the university has stretched the amount to approximately 55 each year. Vice Chancellor Professor Sir Hilary Beckles said the funding is part of the government of Jamaica and the university working strategically to upgrade the education system on the island. He said they are working with a triple A of access, alignment, and agility. He said that access will include a radical upgrade for higher education, professional training, and skill development, with alignment working with the government to transform the landscape, while agility will have all stakeholders being flexible in how they operate. Beckles further stated that while there is a sponsored program, there is also the full fee program, in which students who can afford to pay their full tuition are accepted at US $20,000 each year, which is below the standard fee of US 30,000 to US 50,000 at universities of the caliber of the University of the West Indies. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.